You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
We're talking to Lee and Adam. They're from the Kent Police Marine Unit. So, Lee and Adam, is there any other advice for our listeners?
Yeah, one message I really want to put out there for this winter season is what we're finding. A lot of the marine users in the community, they don't visit their boats, their vessels, their marinas through the winter period, obviously for the reason that they don't generally use them. But what we're encouraging is if they can try and arrange a regular visit down there, even a 5-minute visit, just to have a quick wander around and just make sure nothing's gone missing. If they do find there is something gone or something amiss, something that's not quite right, if they can call us on the numbers that we'll give out later, there and then it gives us more of a chance to investigate it and to actually get a good job out of it, rather than getting all the reports for all the marine community coming through in the new spring season, when obviously they all go back to their boats. So that's what we really want to encourage. If they can arrange a regular visit to their own marinas, just have a quick look around, and if they do see anything, then just give us a call.
It does help us with evidence gathering, obviously, and the quicker we know about something, the more we can throw at it. We do lose a lot of forensic evidence because of the time scale between when it's reported and when the crime's actually happened. So yeah, we would encourage that. It really would help. In terms of what boat owners can do for themselves, obviously there are a number of products out there. We have smart water, which we would encourage people to consider. Smart water can be used on boats, it can be used on radios, VHF radios, anything inside the boat, and basically smart water is a unique DNA code which the owner of the vessel can buy. I'm not sure of the price, I know it's below £30 at the moment. Basically they mark up their property, anything that could be taken from the boat, and it is unique to them, and it gives them a code. And what happens is that if the item is stolen, the smart water can transfer from the item to the person, and every time we take somebody into custody now at any of the police stations across Kent, they actually get scanned for smart water. We do it under a UV light, and it shows up if they've been in contact with it, and then what will happen is we will swab them, and that's we send that off, get it tested, and it will come back with that unique DNA code. It's got a very, very good success rate. It's used all over the country. And it's proven its worth, really. It's very, very good.
There are other simple things as well, as using sort of technology, but it's simple things like removing outboards off of any boats that are left outside. Anything that can be easily taken, if it can be put inside, locked away, any just in a secure place, just so it's not for the opportunist, really. And other simple things like marinas putting padlocks on, lighting, security lighting, anything like that. It all helps. Anything that can deter any criminals is a great advantage.
We do have a number of engine covers which have been trialled in Essex. They basically replace the cover that goes on top of an outboard engine. It's a white cover, and it's got Essex Marine Watch at the moment on it, but we're looking at replacing it with the joint Kent and Essex Police Marine logo. And basically what that allows the owners to do is to remove the top cover of the engine, take that away with them, rather than remove the whole of the engine if it's not possible to remove it, and just replace it with one of these covers. And again, that's a very good deterrent, because what it means is that if somebody does decide to steal the engine, they've then got to explain to the manufacturer why they want a new cover for that engine, and very often that'll start ringing alarm bells. They are available, they're available from us again, and if anybody wants us to go out and talk to them about that, they give us a call, and the numbers we'll give out at the end, and we're more than happy to do that at any time.
We are joined with Lee and Adam. They're from the Kent Police Marine Unit here at BRFM on the Monday Night Community Show. At the moment we're talking to Lee and Adam. They're from the Kent Police Marine Unit. Now you mentioned incidents, so what types of incidents and work do you get involved in?
Well, as Lee mentioned earlier, there's a massive array of different things that we sort of get involved with, but the main thing around the island community in particular is the problems that they have with jet skis. Now, we don't have a problem with obviously jet skis as such, but what we want to encourage is they ride in a safe manner, and in particular in the correct locations. There are the main areas off Marine Parade and around that area of Sheerness, but they're actually marked by boys with the windsurfing clubs exactly where they can go. But if they ask any of the local people, they'll point out exactly where they're going to go, and that's what we want to encourage. what we do want to encourage as well is for people that spot jet skis that in particular are dangerous, especially around close to the shoreline, around swimmers, around other boat users, etc. If they can take any markings down, any identification numbers, anything they see on the jet skis, and let either their owners or ourselves, or even calling up on the contact details that Lee will give out later. If they give us those numbers, we'll do our utmost to track them down and point them in the right direction. It's definitely about education as far as we're concerned with jet skis. What we find at the moment is a lot of people don't know where they can ride, and that's what we really want to encourage. And to get that message out there, really.
Yeah, we do end up with problems, certainly during the summer months, with people actually travelling to the island to use their jet skis. We get a number of problems around the Kingsferry Bridge area with jet skis launching from sort of unlicensed areas, and areas they shouldn't be riding from, and it causes us big problems with sort of the local boat owners, because obviously it can cause damage to boats when jet skis are going through at ridiculous speeds, and there are actual speed restrictions on the swale which need to be adhered to, and that is one of our biggest call out rates for, during the summer months. We're very often down there dealing with these people, and we do at the moment tend to go more for education, but we will be looking in the future to support other agencies in prosecutions.
So who else do you work with then?
As Lee just mentioned, different organisations, but in particular in regards to the jet skis, we work with the MPA, the Medway Ports Authority. We actually go out on their vessels to assist their crews in talking with the community, especially on the water. They seem to get approached a lot more with problems and different bits and pieces that need sorting out, and obviously with us on board, it helps with the evidence gathering and also assists their crews in how they go forward with the incidents that occur.
We also work with national with the Environment Agency. We're currently running a case with them. There was an incident at last year's River Festival, where basically there was a speeding boat on the Medway, which caused a guide dog to become scared, and it actually dragged its owner into the river. We're working with the Environment Agency to actually support a prosecution.
Right.
Us as police officers, us as Kent Police, we can't actually take that as a prosecution, but the Environment Agency actually have other laws and basically other ways of prosecuting on the river. So we provide the evidence and they will take it forward as a prosecuting agency, and that's still going through at the moment. Other thing we're looking at the moment as well at working jointly with the Coast Guard, so we'll be doing joint patrols with those on the island, and again helping those helping the Coast Guard where needed with evidence gathering and anything we can help them with, really. It's such a diverse range of things that we're getting involved with at the moment. It's quite challenging. So
do you get involved with rescues at sea?
Yeah, although it's not our general day-to-day working, we are governed under regulations to attend any sort of life-threatening injuries at sea. We don't make a very regular occurrence, because obviously that's what you have the lifeboat and the Coast Guard for. But if you are the nearest vessel and it comes out on radio that people need assistance, then obviously you do have a need to assist. It did actually just so happen that when we was working with Medway Ports a couple of months ago, we was up the Medway near the Medway and Rochester bridges, and we found 3 or 4 girls, young females, stuck in the mud. They were out there having fun, or so they thought. It wasn't too bad when we sort of did our first pass. However, when we was coming back, the tide was rising and the light was very, very rapidly failing. They seemed to be getting into trouble. They were stuck up to just above their knees in the mud, and one of them started calling for help. They had no mobile phones on them. They had no way of contacting anybody else, so we had to actually coordinate a rescue from the waterside, which involved both Kent Fire and Rescue and the lifeboats and the Coast Guard, and also the ambulance service to rescue and to get them out. Thankfully they were all fine, not a problem. They went off to hospital for just for normal consultants. But it is very important. I think it's good to stress as well that these females didn't realise that even if they have no credit on their phone, they can still dial 999 from those phones. So I think that's an important message to also take on board.
Now, if our listeners would like to find out more or contact you, how can they do that?
Yeah, it's very simple now with Kent Police. Any non-emergency calls is to our new switchboard number, which is 101. If you call that number, that will go through to an operator and they'll assist you in anything you need. Obviously, anything with a crime in progress or any life endangerment or immediate response, then just dial the 39999. Also, if you want to get in contact with either myself or Lee, please feel free to email us. My email address is adam.houghton@kent.pnn.police.uk.
Yeah, and mine is lee.waters@kent.pnn.police.uk. We'd be more than happy to answer any further questions that any listeners have.
Lee and Adam, I'd like to thank you very much for coming along and telling us all about the Specialist Marine Team and what you do.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.